2.
Heartbroken communities gathering tonight as we begin to learn more about the 7 farm workers killed in Half Moon Bay.
It's a real tragedy because they're going to be highly affected by all this for the rest of their lives.
Communities all across the Bay Area trying to process the tragedy. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Meeback.
And I'm Julie Hayner. The 7 victims identified today as people come together to grieve. The victims range in age from 38 to 73 years old. They include Chinese and Mexican immigrants, and 2 couples are among the dead. KTVU's Amber Lee begins our coverage tonight after speaking with the family of one of the victims. Amber.
Julie, we're in downtown Half Moon Bay, where a memorial for the victims has grown steadily. Now, tonight, I spoke with the nephew of one victim who tells me his family is holding what's called a rosario, a prayer session for the next 9 days to honor his uncle who was killed.
He was very kind. He was a very good father figure. He was super supportive in whatever I did. He introduced me to a lot of stuff that I like to this day.
Carlos Martinez tells me he and his family are still in disbelief that his uncle, Marciano Martinez Jimenez, was shot and killed Monday while he was working at Concord Farms by a fellow farm worker.
It's still like settling in with me, I guess. I still find it, I guess, unreal or surreal.
Carlos says his uncle's co-worker told his family that the suspect walked into the workplace with a gun and that Martinez Jimenez was the first to see the suspect and tried to stop him.
He shot my uncle in the head, and then the worker next to him was like basically saying like, you don't have to do this and all that stuff. And then the guy told him something around the lines of like, I have no beef with you, or no, like, I have no troubles with you.
Farm workers displaced by the shooting are seeking temporary shelter at a motel in Half Moon Bay. Nonprofits in the county are providing necessities such as clothing and food for them. Advocates say Latino and Chinese farm workers have developed relationships over years, sharing food, breaking the language barrier as immigrants from different countries.
The culture's coming together, like they're working together, living together. This is not about dividing culture. This is about coming in as a community together.
Joaquin Jimenez, the vice mayor of Half Moon Bay, is also farm worker program director for the nonprofit Alice. He says he knew and worked with the Chinese gunman and the victims, both Latino and Chinese.
Every time we brought something to that farm, it was for everybody.
As for the family of victim Martinez Jimenez, Carlos tells me when relatives couldn't reach his uncle by phone after the shooting, they rushed down to the farm and learned from his co-workers that he had been killed.
It's mostly sadness for me. I'm not really angry. It's more like I'm just sad that my uncle was caught in between whatever was going on with the guy and whatever he had with anyone else. My uncle was just trying to do his job, was trying to protect people there.
Right now, you're looking at a live picture of the public memorial that has been set up here in downtown Half Moon Bay. Advocates say farm workers are receiving mental health services at the motel where they're staying. The city and nonprofits are now working together to organize a large public memorial. Julie, Mike.
Amber Lee, live tonight there in Half Moon Bay. Amber, thank you. A community